Let me show you how to give your Barbie color reveals made-to-move bodies, coming up after this. I think the biggest request I get on my YouTube and Instagram is, how do you put the color reveal heads on the made-to-move bodies? As soon as these were revealed, I couldn't believe how awesome they were. They look like retro vintage. I have a huge problem with Barbie hair too. I'm not big on hairstyling and it just gets in the way. My own hair gets in the way, thus why it looks the way it does. I really wanted to put these fantastic vintagey, retro-y heads on bodies that I liked. Now, I'm not a big fan of the made-to-move bodies. To tell you the truth, articulation isn't that important to me. I don't mind just having the dolls stand straight on a shelf on display so I can see them and their clothes perfectly. I don't really play with them. I mean, more and more I'm getting into dioramas on my Instagram. Do follow me on Instagram, that's toohunky on Instagram. I am going to be putting a lot more dioramas, and I'm actually going to be making a lot more diorama videos here too. So I do understand why everyone loves the made-to-move bodies, and I love the photographs and what everybody is doing on Instagram, the poses and the setups, and yeah, people are making wonderful photographs in the Dollstagram community. So I don't really know that much about the made-to-move skin tones and everything. Because I don't really like the bodies, they kind of look robotic to me. Well, that's the part that I do like, that they do look like fembots. There's so many joints and it doesn't look smooth. Now, I am a big fan of these WWE bodies, and I will be able to tell you what skin tones I used to get the WWE bodies, but I am not that familiar with what skin tones are the made-to-move. So you're just going to have to do your comparisons yourself. You can also help the community out by leaving a comment down below and tell them which made-to-move bodies match which heads. I know that this skin tone is a Carmella, this skin tone is a Lana, this is a Naomi, and these two, I put them on the yellow skin tone. There's this one WWE skin tone that has that yellow undertone, and that's most of the dolls. The majority of the dolls use this skin tone. So I actually have a lot of these bodies because Barbie doesn't come out that often with this skin tone. So every time I find a Barbie with this skin tone, I get really excited because I've got more of these bodies than any others. This is the skin tone of the most recent Barbies. Do I have any of them around? This Carmella tone, probably the majority of the dolls that came out in this last wave of fashionistas are this Carmella skin tone. Yeah, all of these ones are the same Carmella skin tone. I had to borrow my Carmella bodies to put these girls on. Take note of these, that's an upcoming video. And also this gymnast, I forget her name, I did this review, but we will be putting, because this is a good match, and because I know that you guys will want to see me do a made-to-move transformation, I will put this head on this body. So the first thing to do is to get the head off the body. And to do that, I guess I'm going to stick this back on. I've heard that people broke these. I don't know if I was lucky or what, but the heads come on like this. Actually, that went on really easy. And all you do is just give it a tug and pull it off. I would say don't twist it or anything. Be very careful. And it should come out perfectly, like so. And it should have a peg. Hopefully that does not break off inside. I guess don't bend back and forth or anything. Just pull it straight off the body. That's the tip that I have. I never broke any, so that's what's worked for me. Good luck. Do it in a warm time, I would say. Warmth is always better, even though I think I did these in the wintertime and it gets cold here in Canada. My necks tend to break more when I do it in the wintertime. It's hot and it's summer right now, so I'm not going to worry about heating. I don't know if that was a crack of the body or the head. So I'm just gonna take it off, and my trick is to just work the head off of the first plate and then take off the head. And then I'll always cut off these things just to make it easier if you want to change your head again. So there's two little prongs that are an extra protection for children. Now I guess all of this stuff is implemented to protect your children. So if you have kids, maybe you shouldn't be letting your children have access to these dolls after you modify them, because I don't know, maybe they can inhale these heads. Okay, I didn't really have to be that careful, because the thing about this is we actually want to take out this, which is something you don't want to do, but when you do take out this, it's okay. So there is a little prong that goes across the neck. When the body goes together, there's this little bar that gets joined, and it's what holds this into place. I actually want to break that off. That I don't know how to tell you how to do. Maybe just get a pair of pliers and pull really hard. It's the part that easily breaks on the WWE dolls when they take them apart. So, I don't know, I'm gonna try to get in there and cut it out. You kind of want to save this piece just in case you want to put a regular head on again. The thing is, you don't need the bar across to put this in because it is a ball. I'll show you that once I get it out. I'm gonna cut it out maybe? Yeah, I'm actually just using small scissors and cutting this out. And then I'll be able to put this actually back into the neck if I want to again. But here is that bar that's going across. So now I'm gonna take some pliers and I'm gonna remove that, maybe. So I just put some needle nose pliers inside and I twisted it. However, look, I made a little white stress mark from where it was attached. That's something to look out for. And it's not coming out as easily as the WWE ones do. Look, I'm making quite a mess inside. But I guess you could go in there and take your scissors and do it neatly. When I do it with the WWE dolls, the little bar will come out so much easier. I'm actually making kind of a mess of the neck. So I would say take your time, do it carefully, cut out all of that one prong that goes across. On my WWE one, it looks like we've got it attached at one end of the back of the plastic. The other end goes into that, so then it holds it into place when the two pieces of the bodies are stuck together. It seems to be really fused on the Barbie on both sides. Actually, maybe it's the same on the Made to Move. Maybe that's where it was, and then that's where the source peg came from. If you want to put a regular head back on, you'll just take this and squeeze it back into the doll, and it should be okay to stay into place. It's not going to have that added peg protection. And then you can just put your head back on, and then you're back in motion. The head is perfectly exactly the same, so that's fine. Okay, but what you're here to see is how we're going to attach the color reveal head onto this body. That is a very long neck. The necks aren't this long on the WWE dolls. So I went to the dollar store, because that's my favorite place to go to find crafty ideas and little solutions for inexpensive prices. I took one of these and I was holding it up next to different things, and I thought I was gonna find like a rubber bead that would fit in there, and I thought maybe a bobby pin would fit into here, and I think I experimented with putting different wires and stuff in there and what would hold into place. After looking at all of the different possibilities and trying to see what would work best, I thought these zip ties would be the best. I thought I would eventually figure out some kind of bead that would be the right size to stick in there, but I've actually been quite happy with putting in ties like this. So this actually is the shape that I made that seemed to work out best for me. I bought this multi-pack because I didn't know for sure what size to get, but I would say that this is the most standard size. Normally you're going to find these in white. The length of this one is, it's an 8-inch zip tie, and it has, like, I guess the standard size head. So I would say that the standard size would work best. As you can see, the little peg isn't as big, so I thought I would loop it through. So what I do is I just loop it through backwards. So instead of zipping it forward, I'll just zip it backwards. So it's not even going to zip into place. It's just going to go on loose. It's not zipping. And then I'm going to bend it. You need to make it about 1.5 inches. And then I'm just going to bend it here about 1.5 inches long. And because the zips are on the outside, the little texture is on the outside, when you stick it into the hole into the neck, it's going to like hold on to it a bit. But a little added thing that I like to do, flatten an edge, make another bend in it, just so when it gets up inside the head, it like will open up like that, so it's just more secure. So then when I slip it inside, it holds even better. And then just below here, I'm going to cut off the zip tie. I mean, there's lots of room in her body and you don't want that to come undone. So just leave some room, and then see, you get all this that you can squeeze into the neck. Is it going to fit is the question. Probably easier to do it without the head on it. Just maneuver it in, squeeze it. Maybe you need to go down a size and zip ties. But I would say if it looks like it fits, but it's not easy to stick in, then you've got a good size and you're just gonna wanna work it in. But I would just get in there and jam it in there. Use your force, and once it's in there, it seems nice and tight in there. And then remember, we made it a little thicker at the top here, but to get it into the head, you kind of want to make it pointy as possible when you're putting the head on, until you get it on, and there you go. I kind of realized before that the WWE bodies had more truncated necks. I always thought that the girls looked a little bit like this, and I guess it's not until now do I realize that there is a significant difference. So on the Made to Move body, we are going to be getting a more pronounced neck. Kind of looks like an Egyptian goddess. It doesn't look that bad, but you are getting a long supermodel neck. So if that's a problem for you, then you're going to have to deal with that. So you can see there's quite a difference in the neck length of a WWE doll. But I actually kind of like this look. It's very Egyptian goddess. And you have some movement, and I like the little clicky noise that it makes. It stays on pretty well for the most part. Like, I really had to jam this in there, so it's extra. Oh, I guess it's not. The trick really is to put the little bend at the top, and again, when you're inserting in the head, you really want to pinch it so that it's pointy and can go inside. And then once it's in, it will open up. The whole procedure seemed easier to me than when I made this video. I hope that it's not too complicated, and I hope that it works for you. The hardest part, I would say, is jamming it into the hole. Needle nose pliers. Push it down inside. You're gonna get something like that. Push the head down on. So there you go. You got it. It's kind of pliable. You can kind of change the poses. It kind of springs back. The longer neck is really growing on me, actually. As much as it looks unusual, it makes her look special. So yeah, experiment. See what you can do. If you find out another solution, if you tried some other kind of wire bead combination, something else, let me know. Kind of like that noise that it makes. Alright, I hope you'll like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. She can wave now. She's got a mind of her own, though. Sometimes you want to put her head in a certain direction, and it'll spring back. But it's pretty malleable. She can look down. kind of look up. I do love these vintage heads, though. If the head comes up like that, push it down, wiggle it around, it should lay flat then. And that's what it looks like on the WWE body. WWE bodies can be found on Amazon quite easily. And please let me know down below if you've tried this and it has worked for you.